What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. As you can see, I got the holiday cheer out here with my Duke and my Merry Christmas stocking, I guess. This one's older than me, actually. My grandma gave this to me, so I wanted to throw this up here. But, you know, you got the holiday cheer. So, again, Merry Christmas. Hope you all had a wonderful holidays. And if you didn't, I apologize. Hope you have a better time next year. You know, you'll get it back. But with that being said, we're going to talk about the NBA game because this actually did give me a little bit of cheer. I'm not going to talk too long on it. Again, 5 games, 10 teams, a lot of it, and 100% of excitement. Now, the first game was between the Knicks and the Hawks. This one would have been a lot more exciting if Trey had played. No, I'm not talking about myself, although I would have gotten a bucket or two, you know, just talk to me. Anyways, Trae Young, you know, right straight. He was not able to play, unfortunately, and not be the Grinch for the New York Knicks, or to the New York Knicks, I'm sorry. He was in COVID protocols, and as such, the Knicks were able to break out early and maintain that distance against the Hawks in this game. So this one was pretty easy to pick early on, and you know, you got to see, well, hey, this is what the Knicks can be like, especially they're down a couple people. It was important to note that Kemba Walker, you know, little Kemba, right? This man recorded the first triple-double in Knicks history on Christmas Day. A couple weeks ago, Kemba was being considered like tossed out the league. Like, I was wondering, where can Kemba go? Because a lot of teams probably wouldn't need him, or you want to use him or pick him up maybe. Unless you're bringing him in off the bench, like, I'm cool with that. That at minimum, what Kemba Walker needs to be, a 6th man. Like, he could start for you, but you might get a little iffy. Definitely 6th man, worst case. Like, he's still a bucket in this league. So shout out to you, Kemba, and shout out to the Knicks because they actually played well. For the Hawks, you guys hustled. I thought maybe you guys might come back a little bit in the third, but I'm not seeing enough playmaking out of anyone else outside of Trae Young, really. I need to see more out of Cam Reddish and more out of John Collins. I'm looking at John Collins and Cam Reddish as well as the coaching staff. That's telling me you're not developing your players like you should. I understand you're missing Kevin Huerter as well, and that's your combo guard. But still, these players are more than just scorers. You need to bring that out of them. That's what the Warriors have done. They've been able to move the ball pretty well. Get the same thing for the Hawks. You'll be fine. You also get Trae Young back, you'll be good too. But anyways, that game was pretty good. Another rivalry forming up. I hope that they actually play in the playoffs again. But on to the next one though, because this one's also like a little rivalry game as well between the Celtics and the Bucks. Now, keep it a buck with you. Giannis came back. He's on my fantasy team, so I got a little bias going on. And I'm highly optimistic that he'll come back. I thought maybe he'd have a little rust to shake off. I think he shook it off in the pregame lineups, though, because he came out swinging, my boy. Now, the Celtics did come out the gates and started balling. I'm talking about they got a bucket. Peyton Pritchard, P-Rabbit, as some people call him. He was out there getting saucy for the Celtics. I think he was like 4 or 6 from 3 at one point in time when I saw him. Like, it was pretty crazy out there. Celtics were pretty energetic until the Bucks finally started to ramp it up a little bit in the second half. And Giannis started employing his will a little bit. Drew Holiday was out there as well. I'll give Chris Middleton some flowers because he at least hustled. I want to see a little bit more consistency from him. All in all, though, the Bucks showed me that they're a very balanced and deep team. Shout out to Boogie Cousins as well because he still played pretty well himself. And showing you that if he's still healthy, he can still get you a bucket easily. I like this Bucks team. I remember I stated that the Heat are probably the Nets' biggest threat, especially when healthy. Well, I kind of want to make a caveat to that and say I think the Bucks might be that new threat, especially with the Heat having their injury issues. But that's another story for another day. For the Celtics, yeah, I just need to see y'all be more consistent. You guys should be an elite defensive team, and I don't believe you are. If so, you would have been higher in the playoff rankings as opposed to being, well, you were 10th yesterday, 9th today. I think you might change, you might drop because you're just too wishy-washy right now. So I need to see more consistency out of you guys. I also want to see a little bit more tenacity, a little bit more aggression out of Jason Tatum. I would say Jaylen Brown, but I think he's one improved his shooting a bit to say, okay, makes sense. And then two, Jaylen Brown also doesn't strike me as a player to be passive. Jason Tatum, you're coming off a little bit passive. Like, you're playing more like how Paul Pierce did, which I'm not saying Paul Pierce was passive, but I need you to be more like Kobe, be more like T-Mac, where you're taking over games on a consistent basis. That's what I want to see. Paul Pierce didn't have that as much, and you have that ability. So, don't play down, play up. That's what I personally want to see. But those are that's the thing. Those are the things I want to see from the Celtics. All in all, like I said, that was a great game to watch, though. Unfortunately, the Celtics weren't able to win, but good showing out for the Bucks. Now, the next game, this one arguably was the best game because the Suns versus the Warriors, that actually could be considered a rivalry, not just because they're the 1 and 2 seeds in the West, but you have Steph Curry versus Chris Paul. You're going to have Klay Thompson versus D Book. You're going to have a James Wiseman versus DeAndre Ayton. Like, that's an actual matchup that you want to go up against. Like, both of these teams are deep. Both of these teams can boast an MVP caliber player. They have veteran leadership. They have good youth. Like, this is a well-balanced team, and we could potentially see these two teams go at it for the next at least 2-3 seasons. So this one was phenomenal. The game was a lot closer than the score. Okay, D-Book, I do want to say this. I need you to show up. I definitely tweeted in the third quarter. This game is going to come down to whether D-Book or Steph Curry plays. Who outplays who in the fourth. Essentially, that's what it's going to come down to. And Steph Curry outperformed you. DeAndre Ayton. There are going to be games where, you know what, D-Book just don't have it. He played okay, got you 17 points. That's cool. But, yeah, you need a little bit more out of D-Book. So if he can't get it, guess what? We're looking at you next. Chris Paul played well. I want to see a little bit more out of you, though. I don't need to see him keep, babying you and getting you the ball, like, demand it, ISO a little bit. That's the next step for you. Even a little playmaking, but I'm not going to expect a playmaker right now. I want to see you take that next step and evolve. Because I do believe you can be a 25-10 guy. Like, how Kobe had Pau Gasol? D-Book can have DeAndre Ayton. And if you're not careful, DeAndre Ayton can have D-Book. I said that. But that's enough about the Suns. Because, again, they're a good team, so I don't want to harp on them too much. The Warriors, I want to see if Draymond can get back to that 2015, 2016 Draymond when he was averaging 15 points a game. That's my favorite Draymond. That all-star year Draymond, I don't think anybody was touching the Warriors that season, bro. Like, and now you have a different step, and you have a lot more pieces. Let Draymond sneak in 15. He don't need to because the team has enough people to get what they need scoring-wise, but let him be an offensive threat. Pairing that with Steph Curry, oh wow, that's ridiculous. And let's not forget Steph. Steph has been dominating still. And in the fourth, he's showing you he can get the job done. So the people who are saying, oh, well, Steph can't close, Steph hasn't won a finals MVP, Steph has the opportunity to do so now. And that's what I saw, and that's what I'm saying this season. I think he can get you that finals MVP. I'm comfortable saying that. Like, he's earned that respect from me. I used to be a little hesitant, not gonna lie to you. Like, I fought for him because, we team light skin out here. But at the same time, he didn't win it in like a couple trips. Now, especially on this team, he could definitely win finals MVP, and it's not just handed to him. So again, that game was very good, closer than expected, or closer than what than what the results showed. Good win for the Warriors, and I'd be interested to see how that fourth game goes between the Warriors and Suns, because I hope I'm sure the Suns want to even the series at least. But now, the moment you all, I'm sure, have been waiting for: Brooklyn Nets versus the Lakers. No? Don't talk about the Jazz Mavs, then Lakers Nets. Okay, I'm gonna do Jazz Mavs then Lakers Nets. So here's what we have with the Jazz Mavs. Luka didn't play. So we're going to keep this one quick, right? Jazz, long story short, I like what you did with the bench. That's pretty much been your best thing going this season. Because the starting five for the Jazz did not change. And if you actually look at the box scores, they're plus minus, meaning the starters for the Jazz was like minus 20, but yet they win the game. So that means the starters for the Mavs were that much better than the starters for the Jazz. Only difference is the Mavs bench, yeah, they were trash compared to the Jazz. And that's a shout out and a testament to Whiteside. So that's pretty much what happened in this game. I actually thought the Mavs were going to be able to win. They went up early. Jazz came back. Then the Mavs go back up early again in the third. I had some money on this game. I should have pulled it out. But I was like, you know what? KP might and Brunson might have it. They didn't. So as a result, Jazz won. I'm not overly impressed by the Jazz on this one. They should have won this one. I thought they should have won it a little bit more handily, but just goes to show that's why I don't have stock in the Jazz as being contenders. The Mavs, they actually could surprise folks just because I like Jalen Brunson and how he's been playing. Also, Kristaps Porzingis, you need to be a little bit more aggressive. I want to see that out of you now, especially with Luka out. You have to be aggressive. Like, shoot 20, 30 shots. I don't care, bro. You're the best player on the team outside Jalen Brunson. Y'all two need to be the ones scoring and shooting the ball. That's all I want to see from the Mavs. That's going to help out Luka greatly. But with that being said, that closes off that game. The moment you all been waiting for, my disappointment. The Lakers versus the Nets, right? As y'all know, I'm a Lakers fan. But the Lakers let me down that day. Why is losing to the Nets, the best team in basketball, considered a letdown, a disappointment, a jaw drop, if you will? Well, because we still had LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and company. We missing AD. I'll give us that. But they're missing Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Paul Millsap, Joe Harris. Like, bro, they're missing a gang of folk. And they come to our home, and they win. And they win. Yes, James Harden went off. That's nice. Yes, Patty Mills went off. That's nice. Did I just not list off the people they were missing? Patty Mills is cool. I'm expecting Patty to get in between 20 to 30, relatively 20 to 25, but he can sneak in the 30-piece like he did. It's only James Harden and Patty Mills. Our defense got to do better than that, especially at home, bro. Especially at home. That's not a good look for the Lakers. That's not a good look at all. We need a little revamp. Personally, now, I'll go ahead and say it now. It is what it is. I think we need to start Malik Monk and put Russell Westbrook on the bench. Not like bench him, bring him off the bench as a sixth man. How James Harden had to do, how OKC did James Harden. Do that. Because I want Russ to have his own team. I don't like when Russ and Bron are on the same floor consistently. I want Russ to get his rhythm without Bron. He needs that confidence going. And when you have both of them on the team, guess what? Somebody needs to be a skilled player. And that's not really either their niche over their careers. So let's separate them two and then bring them together in the fourth. Hopefully they can get the ball rolling. But Malik Monk pairing up with LeBron James, the shooting that we get, the athleticism that Malik Monk can bring still. You still keep Avery Bradley on the floor. Like, you can mix and mingle pieces so that way Russell Westbrook has his shooters, Bron has his shooters, and we're fine. We're good to go. That's what I personally want to see as a Laker fan, just because, again, Russ isn't the most cerebral point guard, so I want him to go against lesser talent. Maybe we can lower down those assists or those turnovers, because he's averaging about 5 turnovers. It's a big issue for me personally. I think bringing him off the bench as sixth man might work. But enough about the Lakers, though, because that's a disappointment, and I'm going to make another video about them, so I'll go more in depth about that. But the Nets, short and simple, bro. You come in, you beat a talented team like us. Yes, I understand we have our issues, but we're still a talented team. That just shows me that James Harden is still at the MVP level, and it should show you guys the same thing as well. In addition, just imagine how scary this team is going to be when they get Kyrie Irving back and bring back Kevin Durant. Like, the Nets are not going to lose unless they have an injury like last season. That's it. As long as those three players can stay, yes, even if Kyrie only plays for half of a playoff series, you still win like you'll more than likely win. That's a bucket easily, plus plus another floor general as well, in case something happens to James or KD. Like he can serve that purpose. So the Nets people, my God, be scared. I told y'all these boys could easily be a dynasty, barring injury. Suns are cool. Yes, the Warriors can get Clay back. Let these boys be healthy. It's gonna be a different. It's gonna be a whole different ball game. But look, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I kind of got to go finish the games a little bit. You know, the Redskins are playing the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are beating that tail right now, dog. But I'm gonna go finish that, do a couple things, hang out with some folks. Hope you all have a good one. Hope you all stay safe. Happy holidays, and you know, continue watching basketball. I'll see you guys later. I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I gotta go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, y'all, sit back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets right here, too.